Day 4, Franklin Pierce TV coverage, and things are heating up in the Winter Olympics.
There's so much curling to talk about today, plus America is catching up in the medal count.
As always, we have Phil Enright and James Conley to report more news.
Also, Eric Taverna today. Stay tuned for all this and more. To our fourth day of 2010 Winter Olympic coverage here at FPTV. And don't forget to check out our Twitter page, fptv.com/Twitter, the other way around, twitter.com/FPTV25 for all more information. And Mike, we have so much stuff to get into tonight, and our favorite is right up front, curling.
That's right. Why don't you start off with women's curling?
Okay, in women's curling, the world champions Great Britain suffered a 6-4 loss to Sweden. After looking impressive in extra ends against China Wednesday morning, they were unable to secure this victory. The British later faced the Russians and were successful with a score of 10-3. The British scored 3 points in the second end, and the Russian women were unable to come back. The Americans played Denmark Thursday evening, coming off 2 disappointing losses. They continued their unfortunate ways, however, and lost in the last end 7-6. At one point, the women had a 4-2 lead, but were unable to hold on. This was the first win for the Danish women. So, Mike, our women's curling team is not looking good, but not mathematically possible for elimination yet. So there's still some hope.
Both U.S. teams combined are 0-7. That's not impressive.
It's not impressive, but it always comes down to the very end on all of our games. And in today's game, we cut a huge lead, and then we blew it.
Yeah, I'll get into that right now, actually.
Talk about.
In men's curling, the United States faced off against the team of Denmark in a match that went into extra ends. American John Schuster was left in an all-too-familiar situation, having the last hammer. Again, he was unsuccessful, causing the Denmark team to win with a score of 7-6. The U.S. team will play again at 5 p.m. Friday the 19th. The Canadian men played Sweden and won of a score of 7-3. The Canadians will play again late Thursday night against the French.
So, a lot of curling still to come, but it's not looking good for our United States team.
They may not get a medal, but it's always good to play for pride, so keep trying USA.
And curling's always fun. Now let's go to Phil with the last event of luge.
How's it going, everybody? In the sport of luge, doubles heats 1 and 2 took place today, but nope, sorry, took place Wednesday. How's it going, everybody? In the sport of luge, doubles heats 1 and 2 took place Wednesday, but we do have medal winners. But before I get into that, your top contenders for Heat 1. In the first place position, the Linger brothers from Austria. Coming in 1/10 of a second behind them in the times were the Six brothers of Latvia, and in third was the Italian team of Oberlotz and Gruber. In Heat 2, the Linger brothers and the Six brothers kept their places, but the German team of Leiner and Risch bumped the Italians out of third. So, the takers of the medals were the Linger brothers of Austria with the gold, the Six brothers of Latvia with taking the silver, and the German team of Leitner and Resch taking the bronze. That wraps it up for the luge events, and I hope you enjoyed watching the men's, women's, and doubles luge events in the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics. I'm Phil Enright. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Phil. The USA men's hockey team, or let's go to that. We got a lot of hockey going on now.
Good call. Go for it.
Okay, our USA men's hockey team continued their quest for gold against Norway Thursday afternoon. Phil Kessel scored the first goal for the Americans just 2.5 minutes into the first period. Chris Drury added another score for the U.S. later in the first. Brian Rafalski scored 2 goals late in the third, securing USA a 6-1 victory. And our American team's looking pretty impressive.
It's good. I can't wait for Sunday when they play Canada. That's going to be a really deciding factor into the seeding.
And most of the hockey games so far have been kind of blowouts, like 13-0 some games. So hopefully that game will be a more competitive one.
It may be a blowout. We're going to have to find out.
We'll see. And now let's go to Eric with all men's and women's biathlon news.
Thanks, guys. In men's biathlon 20-kilometer individual, Norwegian Emil Svensson added a gold medal to the silver medal he won earlier by winning the 20-kilometer individual biathlon on Thursday. Svensson's teammate Ole Bedorndale tied for second place with Sergei Novoko of Belarus. Svensson, who took silver in the sprint, covered the course in 48 minutes, 22.5 seconds, which is 9.5 seconds quicker than Bedorndale and Novoko. Svensson shot cleanly through the first 3 rounds but suffered a penalty in the final frame, opening the door for 30-year-old Novoko, who grabbed the lead briefly but was unable to capitalize. The highest-placed U.S. competitor, Tim Burke, finished 45th, which is 5 minutes behind Svensson. In women's biathlon 15-kilometer individual, Norwegian Tora Berger claimed the victory. This win makes Norway the first nation ever to win 100 Winter Olympic gold medals. Berger missed just 1 target to finish in 40 minutes, 58.2 seconds, beating silver medalist Alana Khrushchev of Kazakhstan by 20.7 seconds. Daria Dimitrova of Belarus took the bronze, 28.2 seconds behind Berger. The highest-placed U.S. competitor, Lanny Briernes, finished 23rd, 2 minutes and 39 seconds behind Berger. That's all for me from Biathlon. Back to you guys.